Hello, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. No, we are not out in the garden today. I am hiding in the house because it is almost 90 degrees in mid-October and I am just really over the endless summer. I want my gray, rainy Oregon weather, and so I'm kind of hiding from the sunshine a bit this afternoon while it's very, very warm. This morning I was working on some sewing and I was watching some permaculture YouTubers that I really enjoy, and Ben Falk's latest video came up in my feed. Now, if you don't know who Ben Falk is, I've referenced him several times. He wrote a book called The Resilient Farm and Homestead, which I will link to down in the description. I will also link to his YouTube channel down below, so please check him out. And his video today was one that really spoke to me, and so I wanted to do a response video to the sentiments that he expressed there. Ben was talking about how he didn't want to misrepresent the work that he does, and that his whole life is not just work, 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 and productivity, but is also taking the time to focus on himself, focus on his child, focus on enjoying the life that he has created on his homestead. One topic I discuss a lot on this channel is how permaculture is relational. We are focusing on relationships. We are looking to see what those connections are and how we can harness them to make our lives better and to heal the planet. We're looking at our relationship with nature, our relationship with our food and what we put into our bodies, our relationships with each other as human beings, and our relationships with our inner selves. Ben's video really resonated with me because so much of our culture is telling us that productivity is our highest purpose, that we are meant to earn a profit and crank out widgets for the machine. And I find that that sentiment is really antithetical to wanting to live a resilient life. The seasons of our life have cycles of rest, awakening, growth, yielding, and rest all over again. So too should our days and our lives. Ben spoke about how the older he gets, the more he is grateful that his system is taking care of itself and its productivity is increasing, and that gives him more time to focus on other areas of his life. Now, in modern American culture, we would say more leisure time, but is it really leisure? It's more time to live your life. It's more time to practice gratitude, to focus on the connections with those around you, to focus on your connection with nature, and to do the work and the service of caring for your inner self. We want to find time to enjoy and cultivate our relationships. We cannot be having this constant adoration and worship of the grind, of the industrial machine. My goals as a permaculturist and as a human being going through life are to provide for and love my family, to heal the land I am privileged enough to have the stewardship of, and to live with integrity and leave a positive mark. But I also know that life is for living. My own personal experience of my life is just as important as those other elements and should not be left out of my design and plan. When Ben talked about his Zone 00 today, I thought that is a really important and helpful tool for me to remember to include in my permaculture design, my own experience as an individual. In permaculture, we have 5 zones. We technically have 6. If you start with Zone 0 as your home, there are then zones 1 through 5 after that are the zones of cultivation. Zone 1 being intensely cultivated and right next to your house, all the way out to Zone 5, which is utter wilderness. And Ben was talking today about Zone 00, the most intimate zone that we have, right? Our own selves, our own minds, our own life. And how important it is to take the time to focus on that. Our own experience of being an element in our permaculture system matters. It's important, and it's an inclusive part of our design that we cannot neglect. As I've said many times before, and as Gungor said originally, a band that I really like, I've enjoyed their evolution and their music very much, what will you do with your one wild life? Permaculture is not about hyperproductivity. It's not about sacrificing yourself. It's not about giving up the experience of enjoying the beauty of nature around you, enjoying the connectedness with other people, and exploring your own thoughts and desires. That's not what permaculture is. We get this one wild life, and how can we include our journey in it, our journey through the world and in community with other people as part of our permaculture design? Ben spoke today about being human beings instead of human doings, and that really resonated with me. As someone who has struggled a lot with overproductivity, as somebody who feels that anxiety when our capitalist culture is telling us that we need to keep churning out stuff and that we need to do more and more and more, and that our worth is tied to how much we get done in a day, I really appreciated Ben's reminder that we are human beings and what we churn out does not define us. If the goal of a permaculture life is to increase the quality of life for all people while also restoring and caring for this planet that we all share, what are you doing to increase your own quality of life? How are you increasing your experience, increasing your joy and your gratitude in a way that aligns with your values and honors the fact that the journey you are on is yours? I hope that as you design your permaculture system, as you think about the tasks that your permaculture system asks of you, especially in those early years where you're setting up and building up that fertility, building up that momentum toward abundance, that you don't forget to make time for yourself. You don't forget to pause and enjoy what is happening around you. Touch base with your senses, touch base with your heart and mind, touch base with other people, connect with them. Realize that the journey of permaculture design is not only a healing journey for the land around you and for your community, but for you yourself as well. And that healing cannot be done without periods of rest and reflection and enjoyment of the life that you're living. Thank you for watching today. Please check out Ben's video down below and check out the ways down below that you can support the work of this channel. I know that a lot of permaculture channels touch very much on the doing aspect, the really functional design elements of permaculture, but we cannot forget that social permaculture is just as important. The way that we meet our own needs is just as important. The way that we design with people care in mind, including care for our own selves, matters, and it is a crucial element of permaculture. So as much as building structures, great, wonderful, as much as designing swales, as much as starting crops, as much as planting out that food forest matters, it's not all there is to permaculture. So I'd encourage you to really dive in more to social permaculture, how understanding it, processing it, internalizing it can increase your resilience and the resilience of your system. I'll be back very soon for my permaculture garden in Portland, Oregon. Thanks.